Okay, today we will see how to resolve a vector in its rectangular components. Some of the values I have written here for the easy calculation: sine 30 0.5, cos 30 0.866, sine 60 0.866, and cos 60 0.5 for taking the things very easily in calculations. I will not be raising these values. First of all, what are the rectangular components? Actually, if a vector is given like this one, if this is a v vector, this angle theta is given here, then its component, this one is x component and this one is y component. When suppose any vector, this one is v theta, then if I want to resolve this in rectangular components, then what is the x component? This one x component, and this y will be y component. It can be x component can be on this side and y component downward also for some of the vectors, but these are the x and y component. Means actually we are finding such two effective components. One is along x-axis, one is along y-axis, which both represent this vector v and theta. That's the rectangular components. We can define rectangular components also, but definition is not in the codes. So just you have to understand, and just you have to drive how you should know how to resolve a vector into its rectangular components. There are basically two methods. One method is by the general angle, and one method is by the base angle, or not base angle involved, but the angle with the x-axis or y-axis, whatever the angle is given. Now first you should know what the general angle is. General angle is, actually what is the base angle? Base angle is always with x-axis. With x-axis, and is less than or equal to 90 degree, base angle. And general angle is always in anti-clockwise direction, and it's in anti-clockwise direction and from positive x-axis. I will be finding here the few general angles. For example, if the vector is this one, then this, of course, general angle is theta is 0 degree here. If suppose if this angle is 30 degree here, then the general angle will be from this one. This theta will also be 30 degree for this one, positive x-axis. But suppose if this is 30 degree here, then general angle will be this one, theta will be 60 degree. If suppose if angle is 30 degree here, this one, then the general angle will be 30 degree, of course, suppose here 30 degree. So general angle will be this one. Now this is 90 plus 30, general angle will be 120 degree. If suppose if 30 degree here is this 30 degree, this angle, then the general angle will be this one. It will be 180 minus 30, how much? It will be 150 degree general angle. If suppose if angle is like here 30 degree, this one, then general angle will be this one. This is 180 plus theta, theta will be 210 degree. If suppose angle 30 degree is here, this one, then the general angle will be up to here. This is total 90, so this is 30, so this must be 60 degree, this one. So this will be 180 plus 60, it will be theta will be 240 degree. Or you can calculate this way also, up to here 270 minus 30 is 240 degree. If the angle given here is 30 degree, then this angle will be up to here, this is the general angle, up to here 270 plus 30 has the 300 degree general angle. If suppose angle here is this one, 30 degree, then this will be this, the general angle, this general angle will be 330 degree. If the general angle is given, always it is very easy to find its xy component, and generally I always follow this method for students in physics, not in mathematics, in M1 class, in M1 or M2, but in physics it's better that we should follow the general angle. If the general angle is given, general angle follows the formula always: Vx is equal to V cos theta and Vy is equal to V sin theta. The signs, positive or negative, will come automatically. If theta is such value, general angle, its cos theta is negative, we can x component will be negative. If sin theta is such a way, its sin theta is negative, then y component will be negative. Let us find this is the general angle formula, and the base angle by using other method is by dropping the perpendicular along the axis where the to which the axis the vector is making an angle, and then taking this one. If the x-axis here, this will be positive x-axis. If the x-axis here, this will be negative. Directions: x component directed here positive, x component directed here negative, y component directed up will be positive. and y component down directed will be negative. So I'll be just in each case I'll be doing both method, one by the general angle method and by that one. For example, if I am given this one value, okay, this is 10 Newton, this one. How I can resolve this in rectangular components? First is by the general angle formula here, theta is 0 degree. So I will say Vx is 10 cos 0, cos 0 is 1, so it's 10 Newton, and Vy is 10 sin 0, 10 sin 0 is 0 Newton, this one. I can find I cannot drop a perpendicular, but clearly this is the x component, other method. I can say Vx is towards right, so Vx is plus 10 Newton, there's no y component, I can say 0. This is the first example. The next example is, suppose I'm giving this example now, okay, in this way. Suppose here, this is the 30 degree angle and this is the 10 Newton. If this is the angle, I can, what's the general angle? The general angle is again 30 degree. So I will say Vx is equal to V cos theta, or Vx will be 10 cos 30. Cos 30, you can see 0.86 multiplied, so it will be 8.66 Newton, and Vy will be 10 sin 30. Sin 30 is 0.5, so it will be 5.0 Newton by x. This is the general method. Other method is I can drop the perpendicular, and the angle is with the x-axis, so I am dropping the perpendicular here, x-axis. Now I will be considering from the tip here and it will go here, which are those two vectors which form by head to tail this one. One is this and other one is this. This is x component, and theta it is with adjacent with 30 degrees, so this will be cos. So 10 cos 30, and this will be 10 sin 30. This is towards positive, so plus sign, and this is also positive sign. You can put the values. Cos 30 is 0.86, so it will be 8.66 Newton, and this will be sin 30 0.5, so it will be plus 5 Newton. Similarly, suppose in the second example, suppose this comes here. If this is 30 degree, this one, and this is 10 Newton, then the general angle here is theta is 60 degree. This, so I can say Vx will be 10 cos 60. Cos 60 here is 0.5, so I will say 5 Newton, and Vy will be 10 sin 60. So 10 sin 60 here is 0.866 Newton, so it will be 8.66 Newton Vy. If I want to find by this method, second method is by dropping the perpendicular. If I drop the perpendicular over here, this one, because the angle is with y-axis, so I will be dropping perpendicular on y-axis. Now I will be following from the tail, this one here and this one here. This will be adjacent is cos, so this will be 10 cos 30, and this will be 10 sin 30. Now this is up, so positive, this is towards right, so positive. 10 cos 30 is 0.866, so it will be again 8.66 Newton y component. It's 8.66 Newton y component x with this one also, and this will be 10 sin, it is sin 30 is 0.5, so this will be 5 Newton. Similarly, suppose if I can have this component over here, suppose I am taking angle with here, this one. If this is 30 degree taken, then it's the 10 Newton. Now the general angle over here is theta is actually 180 here and 30 here, but it's now 210 degree. So if I want to find Vx component, it is 10 cos 210, and again Vy is 10 and sin 210. If you have a calculator, you can calculate cos 210 degree directly, and it is 10 cos 210, it becomes minus 5 root 3 or minus 8.66 Newton. Okay. Similarly, if Vy it's 10 and sin 210 is minus 0.5, so it becomes minus 5.0 Newton. I can this is by general method. General method is very easy. Just find the general angle and put it in the formula. But by this method, you can calculate also in this way. Here is this a 30 degree angle. This one is 30 degree angle. Now you can drop a perpendicular over here. Now this is 10. One vector is this one, other vector is this one. This is negative toward left, so it must be negative, and it's with adjacent to 30, so it's minus 10 cos 30, and this is also downward, so it's minus 10 sin 30. Since cos 30 is 0.866, so of course this is 8.66 Newton, as you are here also, and see here this thing is minus 0.5 Newton in this case. Similarly, if you have, for example, in that way you can always find these values. For example, if you have this component here, this one, and this is angle is suppose 30 degree given to you. Now, and this is a 10 Newton. Now, first thing is you have the general angle here is up to this one. This is 180. So general angle is 240 degree. So you can find Vx is 10 cos 240 and Vy is 10 sin 240. Okay. Now, if you take 10 cos 240, 10 cos 240 is actually, you get minus 0.5 Newton if you calculate this one, and you get minus 8.66 Newton if you calculate directly positive negative sign comes. But if I want to find by other method, I will just be dropping the perpendicular over here. This is of course 10 cos 30 and this is of course 10 sin 30. Actually these are the, what is this component? Negative downwards, and this also left, so negative. So 10 cos 30 is 0.86, so it comes out to be minus 8.66 Newton as here. Similarly here this will be minus 0.5 Newton. So in that way you can always resolve the vectors into rectangle components.